Some other names setting up again. We've been talking about this LLY, big flag forming in this like 10% range here. Again, expecting a bit of a shakeout first before we see any real move higher. So again, the breakout really is this 1100 area. But for now, we need to see a shakeout of this 975. So, keep an eye on the shakeout of this area, and then we'll get that support buyback through this like $1,000 area. So not trying to catch the bottom, not trying to, perfectly time this shakeout, but just letting that happen, letting that occur, and then waiting for the move to get back in through 1,000 to be prepared for this 1100 breakout down the road. We got this CRSP, a nice, very clear resistance area through this 60. It's been battling with some time. Again, we've had some members, buying it through 55, positioning for it. So nice little inside day versus 56 for now. But again, just keeping an eye on this big 60 area for a break and eventual run up back into these 70s and prior highs. Again, we mentioned this ASTS telecom name, pretty insane name overall. Again, if you were in the chat and you got the alert yesterday through 88, it's looking very good. Most likely just keep break even stop for now as it tries to continue to retest these like 120, 130 prior all-time highs. Again, Cisco, we mentioned a few moments ago. Nice little flag here. Setting up through 80 versus 78. So $2 risk for move back to 88. Those prior all-time highs looks good. And last but not least, T-Mobile, TMUS. As we mentioned, just keeping on this 220, 225 area for this little earnings flag. And again, a lot of these names we talked about at the beginning of the call, the defensive names, LMT has been strong, but hard to get into up here. Same thing with GD, same thing with NOC. All these kind of wartime names have already had their run-ups, and it's kind of hard to look for these entries. Again, even, Newport Mining, again, a lot of precious metals, gapping down, FCX, just chopping around. No real massive breakouts post the events that occurred this weekend. Again, PLTR has been a little weak lately, talking about these stages. So like NVIDIA, like Apple, that are forming these massive ranges, PLTR has started to break its key support. And again, now it's bouncing back in within this range, but these are not the best signs you want to see in names that are forming these massive topping patterns at highs. Welcome to Big Picture Trading.